Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Colin's Last Stand right here on YouTube. My name is Colin Moriarty. As always, I hope this video finds you and yours very well. And I'm sorry if I sound a little congested and sick and look a little disheveled. I often actually look pretty disheveled, but I don't feel well. I'm actually getting over or kind of going through a cold, so that's why I sound this way. But I don't want this announcement to wait any longer, so I'm recording the video now, and I hope you'll forgive me for that. So the announcement is that I'm going to do a new show under the Colin's Last Stand umbrella called CLS Side Quest, and it's my return to gaming. It's my return to gaming coverage, and I'm super excited about this, and I hope you guys are too. I've been contemplating this return to games coverage since like earlier in the summer, actually, this year. As you probably know, in March, I left my old company Kind of Funny, and that really ended 14 consecutive years of me doing games coverage for a living, ever since I was a freshman in college, all the way to when I was 32 years old. So this was a big change for me, and thousands of you were so kind and so generous in following me on this left turn I took into politics and history. But many of you have requested, literally thousands of you have requested on Twitter, on Facebook, in YouTube comments, etc., for me to return in some way to games coverage. And I'm going to do that with the show Side Quest, which is going to be a weekly show on a new YouTube channel, which you're probably watching this video on, so I hope you subscribe to the new channel. The videos will roll out on Mondays, and it's kind of going to be like my old show on Kind of Funny called Colin Was Right. I'm going to recapture that format as best I can and kind of celebrate or criticize or whatever a game or a publisher or a developer, or follow a news story or talk about something interesting happening. Maybe the videos will be 8, 10, 12, 14 minutes long a week. I'm not really sure yet. Again, a lot of what the show will be is contingent on your feedback, so I hope you keep it coming. You know, when I left games coverage in March, there were months where I really didn't play games, and I didn't really miss playing games, and I didn't miss the industry. But once everything settled down in my life and I can really assess what had happened and this new path I chose, I realized that, you know, I played games for 30 years and I covered them professionally for 14 and wrote about them for even longer than that. And I didn't want that kind of part of me to be ruined by a bad experience, by toxicity, by some really terrible people in corners of the internet that kind of tried to tear me down. I kind of want to return and do what I love to do in that sense, which is tell good stories about games, which is to dive into why we like games, why we don't like games, why we like a publisher, why we don't like a publisher, a developer, whatever the case might be. I think there are stories to be told there, and I miss having that conversation with you. And like I said earlier, I think the return is made easier by the fact that so many of you have requested it. In fact, on Patreon some weeks ago, I did a poll only for patrons on if I should return to games coverage in some way or not. 91% of the people, I think almost 2,000 people voted, 91% said yes, and those are the people that pay for this content. So I don't want to ignore that, and I also don't want to ignore my own heart and my own desire to return to this in some way. So Colin's Last Stand is going to change a little bit moving forward, but what you already like about it isn't going to change. This is just additive. The only alteration is that instead of doing 2 episodes of Colin's Last Stand a week on youtube.com/Colin's Last Stand, I'm going to do 1 episode a week on Thursdays, take the Monday episode, move it to this new YouTube channel for Side Quest, because I do want to keep the gaming coverage separated from the coverage about politics, history, social stuff. All those, they don't really make sense together. And I'm going to deliver a video every Monday about games on that channel. And I'm super stoked about it. So Colin's Last Stand becomes this sort of tripod, this sort of 3-legged stool. One leg is the original Colin's Last Stand over at youtube.com/Colin's Last Stand. One leg of the stool, one leg of the tripod is the new podcast series that's been going on for 10 episodes now every week called Fireside Chats, which is available at soundcloud.com/Colin's Last Stand or on iTunes and other podcast services if you want to use those as well. And finally, the third and newest leg of the stool or the tripod is Side Quest, CLS Side Quest, which exists on this new channel and will be delivered once a week and hopefully kind of bring up and start some interesting conversations between you and I. And I'm really excited to see where this goes, and if we can recapture some of the magic that I think we had with some things I've done in the past. The one thing that doesn't change is Patreon. Patreon.com/Colin's Last Stand will continue to be the primary funding operation for all things Colin's Last Stand. So if you enjoy 1 or 2 of the shows, or hopefully all of the shows, I hope you consider going over there and giving me $1, $2, $5, $10 a month, whatever you can, to keep this venture independent, to keep it, you know, empty of any MCN influence or any, you know, ad activations or anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. So yeah, Monday, November 20th, the first episode of CLS Side Quest will go out. I hope that you tune in. My goal is 10,000 views for that first episode. I hope we can hit that. I hope you'll consider supporting me on Patreon, subscribing here, letting everyone know that I'm returning to games coverage. And hopefully we'll carve out our little niche on the internet, our little corner on the internet, just like we've done with Colin's Last Stand, just like we've done with Fireside Chats. Nothing has to be big and ornate and out of control. We can have our own small community here to celebrate the things we love, to talk to each other in a respectful way, and to build a great community around these really important things, whether it's politics and history, and whether it's video games, and whether, like with Fireside Chats, it can literally be anything at all. And I want to take one more opportunity, if I might, to just thank you all again for your kindness, for your support, for your generosity, for your love. This has been the most successful professional year of my entire life and allows me to take a risk by kind of changing the whole formula a little bit to return to something I love, to return to something you love. I'm able to take those risks because of your belief in me. And that gives me an extra kind of layer of security, knowing that maybe I'll fail, but at least we tried, right? Anyway, I hope to see you on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Patreon, all these different places. Please keep the feedback coming. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to hearing what you think about CLS SideQuest. And remember, this show will change, just like Fireside Chats has changed, just like even the original Colin's Last Stand has so dramatically changed based on your feedback. So again, talk to me. Let me know what you think. Now, all I need to do is think of a new tagline to kind of end these shows. On Colin's Last Stand, it's always keep on learning. Maybe with SideQuest, it will be keep on gaming. I'll see you on Monday, November 20th. Thank you again.